if you thought the Ohtani mania has reached a fever pitch, we are just getting started. And by the way, that's the way it should be. Anybody that thinks that MLB is tweeting too much about Ohtani, guess what? They should be tweeting even more about Ohtani because he is the most important person in the sport. And he is the most incredible baseball player we have ever seen. And he did have one of the most amazing seasons we've ever seen. All of those things are true.
And guess what?
Yeah.
Padres fans, it's okay for that to get under your skin.
Great.
It's okay.
Go beat him.
Right?
That's fine.
Great.
You can beat him.
Yeah.
You can beat him.
All the Ohtani hype should make you mad. It should make you frustrated. But
That's
what
fine.
about Jurickson Profar, huh? You don't tweet about him.
Yeah.
And if you look at WRC Plus on Tuesdays,
why did you only give Jake Cronenworth one exclamation point?
Ooh.
Feeling a little jealous. Shohei Ohtani got all caps and 17 exclamation points.
Listen,
there are real people tweeting these things, but the point is,
be jealous.
Be jealous. That's fine. The point is, Shohei Ohtani is the most important story here because we've been waiting for him to be in the postseason forever. When we finally got to watch him play high stakes game for Teams Japan, how did that go? It was like the coolest thing we've ever seen. So now we get to see him do it for the Dodgers, which I imagine, I know is not as fun to watch for a neutral fan as him maybe doing it for Japan, even if you really cared about, Team USA. This is still going to be very, very, very special.
Ohtani, down the stretch this year, started to peel back some layers of himself that we really hadn't seen before. He was significantly more emotive on the diamond in big moments than I can remember. And I think that was just a glimpse. If he hits a big homer or drives in a clutch run, we're going to get something abnormal from a player who has been relatively stoic throughout his time in our lives. And I think Ohtani is where we should start here when we compare these offenses. One team has him. One team does not. And I do think that the Padres offense is really good. They don't have the guy with 50,000 steals and 50,000 home runs.
I think it's fair that, Ohtani, we haven't seen him show this amount of emotion, but I mean, it's not that hard to understand why. When has he been playing in a game that has meant remotely as much as we saw in the WBC, not to mention every game for the Dodgers for the whole season, but especially over these last, few weeks. So that part is not surprising. And I think that is the other thing about his season is that Mookie Betts and Freddie Freeman are still on this team and are still really good, but with their injuries and the time missed, like Ohtani did have to kind of go superhero again for this team.
And Freddie is hurt now.
And Freddie is hurt. Freddie sprained his ankle, which I'm not even sure we ended up mentioning when we recapped kind of their end of their regular season, but he sprained his ankle in a very weird base running play at the end of their season.
From Juan Toribio, the Dodgers writer at MLB.com, says that if this was any other time of the year, Freddie would go on the IL. He's expected to play. He's expected to be ready. It's not exactly a situation where you can DH the guy, right?
No, that's not an option for the Dodgers of Los Angeles. No.
Right? And so how he looks moving around at first base is something to keep an eye on.
Yeah, and I believe Freddie said that, he's never dealt with anything like this, which is not surprising. I mean, this is a guy who's barely missed any games for years. I mean, he missed games this year, and that just had to do with the health of his son. It seems like that's been progressing in a positive direction, which is certainly good to hear. But in general, in terms of his health, he's been just completely durable. So this is a new thing for him to manage at an extremely inopportune time.